So even though oregano is really common, I did want to still mention it because it is such a diverse, widely used herb. You can find it pretty much anywhere. At the market, you can't always find it growing wild, but you can find it pretty much anywhere at the market, and it's quite adaptable to usually to the environment. I mean, there's so many different places it can live. It does go dormant in winter, like most plants, but it comes back every year. It gets a little bigger, so it comes back year after year. Now, I do want to mention that everything I'm about to say about this is, a belief of paganism. It's not necessarily been proven by science. It's just pagan belief, okay? And if you ask people, different people will tell you different medicinal uses. Sometimes, you'll find that we've got a lot in common, but then you'll find that there's also, different people will have extra things that they believe it does. So the common things, obviously, are to detoxify the body, and to heal and mend the body. Just like any herb though, all in moderation. When it flowers like this, the leaves lose a bit of their potency and the flowers become exceptionally strong, exceptionally potent. And for that reason, the flowers are good in tea, but you can only do in moderation because they are so potent. So, oregano is, in the right, in the right situation. I'm not going to say it's a miracle worker, but in the right situation, it can really do a lot. If you've got tumors, if you've got organ failure in your liver, pancreas, kidney, if you've got gastritis or gastroparesis, either one, if you're trying to mend the stomach chakra, it's a really good herb to use because of all that. It can also, like, if you're exposed to if you ingest some kind of toxin, a long time ago, in the olden days, you didn't have anything but herbs, right? And so they would use oregano. Pagans would use oregano literally to cleanse the body. So you can do several things just by eating this raw that you cannot do when it's cooked, because it loses a lot of its potency. If you eat it raw, and I'm not talking about the oil, I'm talking about the leaves, the flowers, even just sucking on the stems. If you eat that raw, it has potential to detoxify the blood of actual, toxin, actual poison. But it depends on the type of poison that you've ingested, or the type of toxin that's in your body. It doesn't have to be, something man-made. It can be a toxin like a bacterial infection, or a virus. So it aids in immunity, but the main thing it does really is cleanse your body of all those toxins. Long time ago, like caveman era, people had to pick things and just test to see if they were edible. Say, for example, you accidentally eat a not lethal but maybe pretty potent plant that was poisonous, that you thought in caveman days might have been something you could eat. Well, you would treat it with oregano, and that would, over the course of several days, hopefully as long as it's not something really bad that you ate, over the course of several days, it would cure the problem. It works by filtering the blood through the kidneys. It also has numbing effects for the gastrointestinal tract. And if you're using it as smudging, typically you're smudging for, either the stomach chakra, or you perhaps might be smudging for something that is you know, a broad general cleansing. Now, typically, when I think of what you might use oregano for as far as smudging goes, it's the type of cleansing that, is the mood in the air, negativity, stuff like that. It's not really the first choice for something like spirit cleansing or something like that. If you're doing that, I'd say do sage, maybe some kind of pine, cedar, or wood bark, um, something like that instead. Oregano really does a great job though, physically cleansing any kind of physical attributes. But it's unique in the way that, it's got an ability to literally absorb and break down, you know, um, not just cleanse, but just, absorb. When you think of oregano, it's almost like it's the thing that actually consumes and eats, quote, eats the negativity, not just chases it away, but literally, in pagan belief, absorbs it and it just neutralizes it to the point like it's, barely even there. A gentle, friendly reminder, again, this is not scientifically proven and you can overdo it with any herb. Oregano is not, an exception to that, especially if you're working with the oil. The oil is very, very, very easy to overdose on, and you need to respect the plant, obviously, because of that. Talk a little bit more about its pain relieving properties. It numbs pain, but it also alleviates pain. So it initially numbs it, and then, it's not like, medication you'd take over the counter where when it wears off, you feel pain again. It's not like that. It will numb it eventually, and it will get rid of it. And many times you need more than one dose, but what it does manage to get rid of won't come back, unless whatever it is a reoccurring situation. But what I'm trying to say is anything that it does get rid of, it's not like you're not just treating a symptom. That's what I'm trying to say. You're not just treating a symptom, you're actually curing it.